Hello dear students, welcome back. So your first semester is over. So like your first semester I prepared a first semester history syllabus separately. The same way I have also prepared second semester syllabus for ICSE history and civics separately. So in the council syllabus provided, both the syllabus is given together, so that creates confusion for the students. So for you all I have separately prepared a syllabus for your second semester. So as per the bifurcated syllabus, 3 units are left that is included in your second semester. So 2 units from civics and 1 unit from contemporary world, that is world history. So you can see here uh, union executive and judiciary, and the third one is contemporary world. So complete unit you have to prepare it as per the syllabus asked by the council. Okay, so you can see here which all topics are included in your unit 1 and unit 2. So unit 1 we have already done, that is a union legislature. So 2 is left, union executive and judiciary. So when you look into union executive, which all topics you have to go through it. So first one is the president. Okay, and in this topic you have to go through the qualification for the election. Okay, that means what are the qualifications required to become the president, then the composition of electoral college, then third one is reason for indirect election, that means why is the president elected indirectly, and then what is the term of office of the president of our country, and the third one is the procedure for impeachment. Why, how and why, when can the president of India be impeached? So these topics you have to touch it. Okay, you have to go through it. And then the powers, now which all powers you have to go through it. The first one is executive powers, then the legislative powers, then the discretionary power, and the last one is the emergency powers of the president. So overall from this president union executive first topic, that is the president, you have to go through all these topics one by one. So don't get confused with the textbook, different books are there with you. So just to find out these topics from your textbook and go through it one by one. Okay, now the next one is the vice president. So from the vice president chapter you have to study only the qualification and the term of office. Okay, powers and functions not required. That means what are the qualifications required to become the vice president and what is the term of office of the vice president, that much only. That means 2 topics you have to prepare from this topic, that is vice president. Now the third one, number C, we have prime minister and the council of minister. In your books you will get this chapter separately, or in some books you will get all these 3 topics in one chapter only under the heading the union executive. Okay, but many that means different books are there provided by the publishers, so you may find it as a separate chapter. So prime minister and the council of ministers, so what all topics we have to go through. Appointment, that means how is the prime minister appointed, who appoints the prime minister, who appoints the council of minister, then who forms the council of minister, and what is the tenure of the prime minister and the council of minister, that you have to go through it. Then the position and power of the prime minister, what is the real position of the prime minister of our country. Okay, then you can see here, that means collective and individual responsibility. What is mean by collective responsibility, what is mean by individual responsibility of the members of the cabinet. Okay, then this one, this you can see here, you will get it in almost all the books separately in 2 columns. You will get it, differentiate between or distinction between council of minister and the cabinet. Okay, so altogether all the ministers are known as council of ministers, but when we are to differentiate between council of minister and cabinet, make 2 columns and write down the distinctions. Okay, council of ministers and the cabinet. So you, let me tell you for your information, cabinet is a small part of, cabinet is a part of council of ministers. Altogether 3 categories of ministers are there, right? That is the cabinet ministers are there, then state ministers are there, then the third one is deputy minister. All these 3 together are known as council of ministers. So if you mention 2 or 3 points while making a distinction, that would be enough. Okay, so from unit number 1, that is union executive, you have to go through the president chapter, the vice president chapter, and the prime minister and the council of ministers. So within these chapters all these topics you have to go through it okay, properly. Now the third unit is that means from civics the third unit is judiciary. So you have to go through Supreme Court and the High Court. So when you prepare, so you definitely will get this two chapters separately, or sometime in some books you will get both this topic in one chapter under the heading judiciary. The Supreme Court, you have to go through composition of Supreme Court, qualification of judges, and their appointment. That means what is the composition of Supreme Court, what are the qualifications required to become the judge of Supreme Court, and their appointment. That means who appoints the judges as well as the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. Then the functions, jurisdiction and functions. So original, appellate, advisory. Okay, so these are the jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Then revisory jurisdiction is there. Okay, then judicial review and the court of record. Okay, all these things 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. These 6 topics you have to go under the heading jurisdiction and functions of Supreme Court. And then the third one you can see here, enforcement of fundamental rights in writs. So why are how are fundamental rights protected? So definitely by issuing various writs, right? Writs like mandamus is there, quo warranto is there, on top habeas corpus is there, okay, certiorari is there, mandamus is there. So all these writs, just go through it, which all are these writs, when these writs are used by the higher court to the lower courts. Then the next one in this topic judiciary, we have High Court. High Court, what is the composition, qualification of judges and their appointment. Okay, so this you have to go through it. Then next one is subordinate courts. So within this chapter, okay, you will get in your civics book separately as a last chapter under judiciary, subordinate court. So here you have to make a distinction between court of district judge and session judge. Only a distinction you have to go through it. Okay, you have to make a differences or make a distinction between district judge and session. That means what is the difference between district judge and session court. Okay, and the last one, Lok Adalat. So within Lok Adalat you have to go through what is the meaning of Lok Adalat and what are the advantages of Lok Adalat. You have to prepare it. Okay, so this is all from civics, that is 2 units you have to go through it, that is the executive and the judiciary. And then now the last 1 unit left, that is from contemporary world. Okay, so contemporary world, that is world history. We have already done the Indian history part in the first semester, so now full contemporary world is left out. So from here, which all topics we have to go through it for our second semester. The first one is the First World War. When you start preparing for your First World War, so you have to focus on these causes. Which are the causes? Nationalism, imperialism, division of Europe, and Sarajevo crisis, that is the immediate cause of the First World War, and the results. Okay, and what were the results of the First World War, and Treaty of Versailles. Okay, then while going through Treaty of Versailles, please go through the terms of Treaty of Versailles, at least 5 or 6 you remember it. You may be asked like mention any 2 terms of Treaty of Versailles, or the 3 terms, or the 4 terms. Okay, at least 5-6 terms of a Treaty of Versailles you write down in your copies. Okay, now the next one is rise of dictatorship. The next chapter after the First World War, you will get it, rise of dictatorship. It's not a lengthy chapter, but only one topic you have to go through it. That means similarity between the ideologies of fascism and Nazism. Only these 2 things. Okay, that means fascism and Nazism, these 2 topics, ideologies, you have to make what were the similarities between fascism and Nazism, that only you have to go through it. Okay, rest you all leave it. Then see the Second World War. Okay, next chapter is Second World War. So what were the causes of Second World War? So you can see the causes: dissatisfaction with the Treaty of Versailles, rise of fascism and Nazism. Okay, then Japanese invasion of China. Okay, then failure of League of Nations, and Hitler's invasion of Poland. So these are the things you have to go through it in detail. Okay, at least go through detail, so that whenever a question is asked, you definitely would find it easy to answer it. Okay, and then the last one is United Nation Organization, that is UNO. So from United Nation Organization, which all topics? Definitely the first one is the objectives of UNO. Okay, what are the objectives of UNO? Then composition and any 4, just listen to me properly, composition and any 4 function of General Assembly, Security Council, and International Court of Justice. So when you study General Assembly, First of all, what is the composition of General Assembly, and any four, mention any four function of General Assembly. The same way, composition of Security Council, and the next one is any four function of Security Council, and the last one, composition of International Court of Justice, and any four function of International Court of Justice. You have to go through it. Okay. Then next one is major agencies of UNO, that is UNICEF is there, WHO, UNESCO. So these three topics, that means UNESCO, WHO, and UNESCO, UNICEF, WHO, UNESCO. What we have to study? Any four functions only. When it was formed, where it was formed, you don't have to go through it. Okay, but at least for your general information, go through it, when it was formed and what was the objective behind the formation of UNICEF, WHO, and UNESCO. But the important thing is that any four functions only. You have to study, you have to prepare any four functions only. Okay, any four functions only of UNICEF, WHO, and UNESCO. All right. Now the last one is non-aligned movement. Last one is non-aligned movement. So what you have to study here? So definitely a last chapter from contemporary world. So you have to go through the brief meaning. What is the meaning of non-aligned movement? What were the objectives of non-aligned movement? Then name the architect of NAM. So who were the architect of NAM? So it is mentioned over here already. Jawaharlal Nehru is there, President Nasir from Egypt is there, okay, Joseph Broz Tito is there. So these are the names, okay, of the architect. Who are the architect, or name the architect of NAM? So only three small things: meaning of NAM, NAM, objectives of NAM, and the names of the architect of NAM. You have to go through it. Okay, so this is all about from your second semester syllabus. Okay, hope you all have understood it. Go through it in detail. Okay, I will I'll share this copy in the description box, so you can take a printout and then you can go through it and prepare for your second semester. Okay, so hope you won't find any confusion. So if you still have any queries related to this, okay, then you can definitely ask me any time. Okay, so only 3 months are left, so start preparing from today. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay safe and take care of yourself. Bye bye.